Hello, I am Tester and welcome to episode 32 of Forza Motorsport. In this episode, we're going to be buying a car first off because I need to buy a car. And we're going to be winning the final Mazda that is locked in the game, which is going to be the Mazda Speed MX-5. So I need to buy the regular Mazda MX-5 because we're going to be using it for a one-make race, our first one-make race of the Let's Play. And I'm not going to do anything to the car because you kind of can't, so it's just kind of stuck the way it is. But we're going to be doing the Miata Sport Cup. Welcome to unmodified Mazda Miata MX-5 1.8i Sport models. First place receives the MX-5 Mazda Speed that I aforementioned. Don't think that was English. But we have Tsukuba Circuit for 7 laps, Tokyo for 4, Rio de Janeiro for 3, and Blue Mountains Raceway Reverse for 3. So let's get started on Tsukuba. Alright, here we are on our first race at Tsukuba. I'm starting in pole for whatever reason. Oh my god, this is going to be so slow compared to the cars I've driven for the past few episodes. Oh my god, the NB is so slow. I want that fucking Mazda Speed though. I've rarely ever unlocked the Mazda Speed MX-5 in this game, I never cared enough to do the fucking event for it. But damn it, we're going to do it in this because damn it, we're going to get 100% on this profile. Oh my god, this car is so slow that I like don't even have to really do anything. It's not even that slow probably. It's just, you know, the fact I've been driving Porsches and Ferraris and Skylines and fucking everything that's not as slow as the Miata for the past, you know, 6 or 7 episodes at least, if not longer. Plus this is like D3 class, I think. It's pretty low in D class. This doesn't look like an 04 Miata. I thought the headlights were different, unlike the later ones. I thought they had separate high beams. I don't know, maybe not. Somebody will probably correct me, I'm sure. Oh god, I still have to not be stupid around this corner, which obviously didn't just happen. I was incredibly stupid just then. Yeah, sadly the NA isn't in this game. This is actually the only generation Miata that's in this game because it was the only one besides NA that was out whenever this game was made, of course. The NC came out like the year after this game came out. So, yeah, this is what you get when you play Forza 1. This is what you get Miata-wise. Although you do get the Mazda Speed Miata, which hasn't been in many Forza games. It was like in this game, and then wasn't in another game until Forza Horizon 3, I believe. Maybe it was Horizon. No, it was Horizon 2. Whenever they had the Mazda Miata DLC, that had like the ND and stuff in it. I think. Did it have the ND? I don't know, but I know that it wasn't in many games. I think I already said it, but the Mazda Protege, the Protege Mazda Speed was the same. Where it was in barely any Forza games, if any. I mean, besides, you know, Forza 1, obviously. On to lap 3. This is going to be a fairly long episode, looks like. Gonna have a 7-minute long race to start us off, and then who knows how long the next couple races will be. Stop being right behind me, damn it. Go away. I like how the entirety of the red part of the brake lights, even like inside of the fucking backup lights, lights up whenever you hit the brakes. Because that's how brake lights work. Fun fact. Wonder why they did that. Wonder why that happened. I'm sure they didn't like really try to do that. But I'm curious of what programming caused that to be a thing. Is it like because is the entire red part of the brake light its own entity, and then the turn signal and the backup lights are different, maybe? But because it's all one thing, it all lights up. I don't know. It's weird. This game has lots of weirdness with its graphics and programming and stuff. So, I don't know what to say about that. I'm getting a little bit of distance on second place. I also like how pretty much almost every game I've played has had a Miata race of some sort. You know, from Gran Turismo to this game to... What other games do I have that have Miatas in them? I feel like Toka Race Driver 2 or 3 or something has one too. Because it just seems like it would fit in that game very well. Or those games. I don't think many Need for Speed games, if any, have the Miata. Besides, like, Need for Speed 2015. I think it has Miata, doesn't it? I don't know. I can't remember. It's been so long since I've played it, and I've tried to repress all of the memories of that game. Of my 10 days of owning it. And that will be a game I will probably never own again, unless I get it for free somehow. And then I probably still won't play it, if I do get it. God, that was a horrible game. It's funny, people are always like, I'm skeptical about, you know, people calling this game a bad game. I need to play it myself. Although I do understand, like, doing that, but, like, when 90% of people who play a game say that's bad, especially people that have backgrounds in playing racing games, and it's a racing game, there's a good chance it's actually going to be bad. I mean, you might be one of the 1% that enjoys the hell out of it for whatever reason, but for the most part, you're probably not going to like it. It's probably going to be bad in your eyes too once you play it. Because, like, I've known a bunch of people who've done that, which is nothing against them, but, like, it's always like, hey, I told you so kind of moment. Which is why people claimed YouTubers who said they really enjoyed Need for Speed 2015 were getting paid by EA, which is somewhat understandable. You know, getting games early especially, I would imagine there's a little bit of money going around as well. But who knows? I'm not those people. I don't get paid to do anything gaming-wise on YouTube. Over the 2 or 3 years I had monetization on my old channel, my old gaming channel. I'm pretty sure I made maybe $400 to $500 total over a few years. And now it's gotten to the point of where my real life channel that I don't upload on that much at the moment because I kind of don't have a camera. Well, I don't have my good camera. And I'm also kind of out of stuff to do at the moment on it, is gaining not nearly that much, but nearly half of that much in a month. So that puts a little perspective in it. Who knows? Maybe this channel will be something. Who knows? For now, I'm just gonna keep uploading videos because I'm still actually enjoying uploading gaming videos. Oddly enough, I've had a few spots where I've been burnt out during the last. What has it been? 3 months since the channel's been around? 4 months now, maybe. I think I started in September 25th. I think was the first video. Well, first not meme video on this channel. I don't know. But I've actually been enjoying it and haven't gotten completely burned out yet. So that's pretty fantastic. I think it's because I'm not trying to overwhelm myself with doing, you know, 4 Let's Plays at the same time or whatever. And also doing, you know, I want to do this series on this game that's just, you know, like challenges or whatever the hell, like the whole Maple Valley Circuit thing. Like, that's one series, and it's definitely not that much. Also, that was an 8-minute long race. Holy balls, this is going to be a long episode. Whatever, I'm in for I got a 0 car rarity bonus. That's weird. Is it because it's a one-make race? I feel like it should at least be a little bit. I feel like this car, well, I mean, the Miatas are very common, but I don't know. It's kind of weird. Alright, here we are in our second race at Tokyo Circuit, which is pretty neat. The marker lights actually work on this car, which is surprising. Fog lights kind of work. They're very dim, but they're there, and they're kind of on, I guess. And then, of course, my third tail light is on. That was a terrible way to take that corner. Also, I didn't look at the upgrades for this car. Although I didn't really need to because it's a one-make race, but still. Maybe I'll do that after I'm done with this, after I'm done with all the races, I'll look at the upgrades, because I'm pretty sure this car has some silly upgrades for the body. If I remember right. Ow. It almost looks pink in some of these lights, which I find strange. This car is definitely red. I want to drive an NB in real life. I've driven the NA. I've never driven... I guess I've only ever driven the NA. I've never driven another Miata. Maybe that... I don't know. Say maybe that'll be a project someday, but nah. I'm not really into the whole Miata project car scene thing. I'd much rather have a different project car. Like, my truck is like the only car I've actually wanted to like get into and modify that much. The only car I've looked at and want to do that. Although I would modify cars, other cars, but like the way I want to modify cars is more of just like making them what they should have been, what they came out of the factory, or what they could have been, I guess. Or slightly updating cars, like, you know, LED lights and shit like that. Well, LED bulbs, like I did with the brake lights on my Ranger. But I don't know. I can't say I'd ever be one to buy a Miata to modify it. Because honestly, I'd probably prefer just to keep it stock. And I will never modify unless it's to restore like a 240SX. I want both an S14 and an S13 240SX, preferably SE versions, and preferably in good condition, to like basically restore and just drive as they are. I would not be ever seen modifying a 240SX. That is not something I would do. You know, people are like, oh, but it's a great drift car. It's like, there's like hardly any left that aren't modified. Like, calm yourselves. Buy one that's already modified and fucking put your own goddamn modifications on it. Don't take completely perfect stock ones and modify the shit out of them. I don't know. I'm not too much on the modification scene. Especially on cars like that. Those RX-7s, you know, Miatas. I don't own a stock Miata, I just wouldn't modify it. So there's my little rant on my little rant on modifying specific cars. Other cars don't really matter, like Civics, I don't give a shit about. Like, you can modify the hell out of a Civic and I won't care at all. But I also don't really care about Civics in general. Same with, like, you know, on the American side, like older Chevy trucks, 90s Chevy trucks. Like, I don't care if you lift it. There's like a million of those out there. And there's probably a shitload of them still being driven as, like, you know, original trucks with probably like 50,000 miles by farmers. Old farmers, I bet, have a lot of those low miles. So those aren't going to be that hard to find for the foreseeable future. Well, the imported cars, though, it's like, you know, they only imported so many. I guess you could, like, import a Japanese, you know, Silvia, JDM Silvia or whatever, but I don't know. I feel like having a stock US market 240 would be, like, one of the coolest things. But I need to find one that isn't completely just... Because they're either A, modified to hell, and basically impossible to actually return to stock, or B, they're rusted to shit because Japanese people, the Japanese car makers did not know how to make cars that didn't rust for the American market, because apparently they don't have like the same kind of like salt, I guess, or winter road. Well, I guess do they have? I guess they have snow in Japan. I actually don't know. I mean, like, I know there's some in the mountains, but not like, you know, just in fucking Tokyo or something. But yeah, they didn't really know how to make a car not be extremely susceptible to rust. Because most, like, there's a bunch. Oh God damn it. There's a bunch of stock 240s on Craigslist, but it's like 90% of them are just rusted out. And when I mean rusted out, like I say, like the entire bottom side of the car is just gone. And you can't really just get a reproduction like pan for a 240SX. You have to either make that shit yourself or find another one that's in good condition. So yeah, I'd probably have to like search like, you know, fucking Southern California Craigslist to find what I want. Because I don't want any rust on, if I were to buy one, I didn't want any rust on it. Maybe a little, a little bit of rust, like surface rust on the outside. But no more than that. Like surprisingly, my truck, my Ranger actually doesn't have hardly any rust on it. The only place that's really rusted is like above the exhaust on, there's a heat shield between the exhaust and the underbody. And for whatever reason that's rusty, like just where the exhaust is, and I have no clue of why. But basically the rest of the underside of my truck is perfectly fine for being a 19-year-old truck with 190,000 miles on it. So, I don't know. I like how we're also in, you know, Tokyo, as I'm talking about Japanese cars and also somewhat talking about Tokyo. Did I damage this? No. Surprisingly not. I ran into that wall pretty good, but apparently did not hit it hard enough to damage the car. Also, we're in the last lap, which is pretty neat. Almost down to 3/4 of a tank of gas left. I love the speedometer. I love how spaced out the numbers are whenever you drive a slow car like this. Because I think that's based on basically like whatever the top speed of the car is. Whatever the top speed of the car the game thinks it is. So, why is there one AI that's like way out ahead of everybody else? This isn't Forza 6. What are you doing, bud? Why are you so far ahead of everybody? Like I said, this isn't Forza 6 where, you know, there's one god tier drivatar versus 7 not god tier drivatars. Huh. It's kind of strange. I mean, I understand why I'm ahead because I'm obviously, you know, I'm not an AI, so I can make better choices than the AI. But you, on the other hand, you concern me. I am concerned. Go through here. If I can keep it flat out through here. Hell yeah, I can. Oh, easy. No challenge to keep it flat out through there. Alright, that's the end of that race. Second race done. Only 2 more races to go. Oh boy. Oh, I did lose credits for bashing into the wall. Congrats, me. I'm gonna hit level 27. HKS extended their sponsorship, modified and Club Sport intercooler upgrades for Asian cars are 15% off in the upgrade shop. Cool, I don't really care. Alright, now our third race at Rio de Janeiro. I expect this to go just about as well as the previous races have gone. Already got the good launch. Oh! Mr. Green Miata was like, nope, I'm going over here. I don't care that there's a car in the way. The AI just are weird in this game. Sometimes they give a shit about other cars, sometimes they don't. Well, it's like, it's the two extremes. Like, they either A, do what that guy just did and just smash into another car that's, you know, doing their own thing and not in their way. Or B, they'll, like, nearly hit a wall trying to avoid hitting somebody else. Or they will hit a wall trying to avoid somebody else. It makes no sense to me. Like, there's no in between. There's no just normal fucking AI. It's just, it's all of that. Whatever that is. This track is antagonizing with these cars. Because the acceleration is fairly slow. There's not much to do with, you know, actual cornering in this track. Bosh, spark plugs. Huh. And around the little sweeper. I guess you can call this a sweeper. Oh, I was gonna keep it try and keep it flat out, but it didn't really work out all that well. Although it wasn't actually that bad. I thought I was going to smash into a wall at some point there, but luckily I did not. There's 3 laps in this track. Yeah, this is going to be pretty long as well. I also like how when you go up in classes in cars, like to faster cars or slower cars, it keeps the length of the races the same. Instead of making them longer to be like, oh, you had, you know, 8-minute races in the Miatas, so you're going to have 8-minute races in A-class cars or whatever. It's more of just, you want to do 3 laps of Rio de Janeiro? Okay, welcome to Professional Series. Basically. And we're on lap 2. 2:27, yeah, it's going to be fairly, it'll be, what, 7.5 minutes? Less than 7.5 minutes. Not nearly as bad as the first race, at least. I'm definitely not looking forward to Blue Mountains. This is what happens when you start racing fast cars and you have to go back to slow cars. It's like, this is so slow, when in reality, like if you would have done this at the beginning of the game, it would be like, okay, this is normal. But now it's slow because you're used to fast cars. And I'm 6 seconds ahead of the next AI. Which is a pretty decent lead. I like how this car has a giant license plate area, but it's an American market car. Strange. Wonder if I don't know. I have a feeling that they. Well, no. I guess that would be in the rear bumper. That'd be completely in the rear bumper. So, and the rear bumper has side marker lights, obviously for American market. I don't know. That's kind of strange to think about. Because, like, obviously American license plates aren't that wide. But then again, I do see the trunk lock in the area for the license plate. I don't know. I'm actually curious now because I've never paid attention to the rear license plate areas of Miatas, specifically the second generation Miatas. But I have to wait until this race is done to look. But yeah, then again, if the lock is there, they couldn't really cover that up with more bumper, I guess. I mean, I guess they could, but I don't see them doing that. So I guess maybe that is the way the rear bumper thing is. Keep thinking this is a right turn for whatever. Every time I race in this track, I think that's a right turn. But it's definitely not. Ooh, what is my best lap going to be? It'll probably be this lap. It is going to be a 2:22. Not half bad, I guess. I'm not entirely sure of what a good time would be, but that's my time. Have fun. You guys can leave in the comments if you beat it. Although, who knows upgrade-wise and whatever else you're doing with your car. Oh damn, I'm already ahead of my best time. I took the first turn better. Man, games like this are hard to commentate over. Does this car have a 6-speed? Yes, it does. It's so strange they put a 6-speed in these cars, in the Miatas. It's like, you have 130... Is it even 130 horsepower? I don't know. I think it's like 120 maybe. It's probably about the same as my truck. But you have 100 and something, low hundreds horsepower. And you have a 6-speed manual transmission. In like 2000. Pretty sure all NBs had 6 speeds. Actually, I don't know. I don't know about that. But I know at least, you know, some of them did. I mean, the Mazda speed maybe I could see, but like the base Miata, it's like, what are you going to use 6th gear for? Like, look at this. Although it is at a fairly high RPM for what it is. Also, I'm being my best and I'm dicking around and wasting time. Good job, me. I really don't care. There's no actual, like, competitive leaderboards for this game. So, there's no reason to actually care about my lap times, really. Just as long as I'm in first place, that's all that really matters. through the tunnel one last time for this episode. And I actually remember this was a left turn this time without thinking about me thinking about how it was a left turn. If that makes any sense at all. I bet it doesn't. And we're going to finish the race in about... Oh, damn, I actually did beat my best time. How did I do that while dicking around? I don't know. 25,000 more credits. Getting closer and closer to level ups. I'm getting to the level ups faster, actually, which is pretty fantastic. Alright, we're here on our last race at Blue Mountains Raceway Reverse, if I'm right. Pretty sure it's reverse. Yeah, I think. Yeah, because we're going towards this straightaway first. With the little chicane in it. Alright, no lift. Oh, yeah, easy. Easy first turn. I'm not going to lift until the very end of the straight, which is already, you know, going to happen. Because those are the only place I would need to lift on. I wonder what the top speed of a stock MB Miata is. Not Mazda speed. Like in real life. Kind of curious. Not sure of why I'm curious. But I am. I have to say, this is much better than the 612 I drove last episode. Around this track. I'm not, you know, completely overpowering everything everywhere. As in, giving my car too much power and spinning out and spinning the wheels. And also having to deal with a car that weighs like 4,500 pounds. This car weighs like half of that. Probably, actually, I think it's about exactly half of that. Pretty sure if I'm, well, no, it's not 2250. It's like 24, 25, I think. Pounds for the Miata in this game. Something like that. But yeah, it's nice being in a car that actually doesn't, you know, take up the entire goddamn road whenever it drives down it. I feel like I'm gonna have to, yeah. Definitely have to slow down there. Probably didn't need to slow down that much there. Need to take the corner better, maybe. That'd be a good thing to do. And around this right turn, onto another straightaway. What did I get up to? 108 on the last lap? I think I did. Or at the beginning of this lap, I should say. See if I can get over 108 now on the straight, because I'll have a running start. And probably have to actually use my brakes at this first corner. Ah. I'm in 4th gear instead of 2nd, so that's pretty promising. I am not going to use my brakes during this part. I don't care what you think, game. Alright, let's see if we can beat 108. I have a weird feeling that I'm not going to. Oh, I did beat it. Oh, by 1 mile per hour, fucking 109. I thought I was going to at least hit 110, but that did not happen. Ow. She got a penalty this lap. So it looks like 3rd lap will be my best lap if it is. Which it may not be, knowing the way I drive. Usually I get worse as the race goes on, instead of better. I get worse at driving cars the longer I drive them. At least in video games, not so much in real life. Like, definitely helps to drive a car for future experience in real life. Especially if it's something like a classic car, like what I drive on a daily basis. And I drive a different one on a daily basis. Oh god, that's... Oh, okay. I actually somehow didn't hit that wall. But... Yeah, I drive different classic cars on a pretty much daily basis. And every single one is different. Even if they're like, you know, I drive two fucking, I don't know, 76 Celicas. They're both going to be really different because they have different clutches or different levels of wear, I guess. Like the shifter has more play, or the brakes don't work as good, or whatever. It's always an experience driving classic cars. Actually, today the only classic car I actually drove, well, besides moving cars around the parking lot, was a 71 BMW 2002, which I had to drive up the highway to take it to a place to get inspected. Which, the good thing is that I actually drove it back from that place a while ago, that same exact car, because it's needed to be evaluated. Like, you know, these people, basically, what happens is people want to buy a classic car from a place, or a car in general, and they'll ask for a pre-purchase inspection, which basically means there's places, you know, around that can do pre-purchase inspections, like one real close to where I work. It's called Auto Evaluators, actually, so it kind of fits. But people ask for the pre-purchase inspection, and, you know, we just take our car up there, and usually the customer will pay for it. Well, actually, always, I'm pretty sure the customer will pay for it. If they don't want to, then they don't get their inspection. And this is like after they do a deposit and everything, so they already have $500 down in the car, whatever, yada yada yada, so on and so forth. But they take their car up there, and then like these people go over every little inch of every car, basically, like if there's any oil leaks, or if any lights don't work, or if any of the gauges don't work, or, you know, if anything doesn't work or is leaking or has a problem of any sort, they will let the customer know, and then the customer will decide if they want to buy the car, so on and so forth. The only thing I really knew that was kind of wrong with the car, the BMW that I drove, was that the speedometer doesn't work. But I have my handy dandy phone with one of those apps that, like, it's a speedometer app. I guess it uses the GPS on the phone to judge how fast you're going. But I just basically set that up on the dash, had that app open, and, I mean, voila, you have a speedometer. But I have to say it was pretty fantastic otherwise, although the battery was a little low, so it didn't really want to start that well. That was the only major problem it had. But I actually generally like volunteering to take cars up there, because, as I said, it's about a 10 to 15 minute drive from my work to that specific place, and most of the time we use that place because we recommend it, because the people who work there are good at what they do, and they also like us, so it's always nice. But I usually volunteer to drive cars up there unless it's like something really crappy, because hey, why not? I don't get to I drive the cars, you know, around 30-mile-per-hour roads. I don't ever get to really take them on the highways that much, so it's kind of nice change of pace. But there we go, there's the last race finished. Apparently all I have to do is talk about how things work in classic car dealerships to fucking be able to talk for an entire race. So we have our 2000. Oh, it's a 2000 Mazda MX-5 Mazda Speed. That's kind of weird. I thought they only made these for like 2004, 2005. I don't know, but we have our Mazda Speed Miata finally. I'm glad, because I like this car. This one has the fucking it has the separate high beam lights, but it's older. I thought it was the other way around. I swear it's the other way around, where the 2004 Miata should have these headlights, and the 2000 Miata should have the headlights of the one that I just drove. I don't know. I think that there's a lot of weird things in this game, like, you know, 1995 Skyline R32s. In 1995, they were R33s, not R32s. And there's other weird inconsistencies with this game, but I guess it doesn't really matter in the long run. Oh yeah, I was gonna go to the upgrade shop too. Let's go do that. Let's see, because I think this car has silly brake lights you can put on it, if I remember right. Nope, it doesn't. Oh my, that is a wing. Also, you can make this car basically into a Mazda Speed, apparently, because it has all the Mazda Speed body parts that you can buy. I don't know. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching this episode of Forza. We'll be back with another episode soon. We'll check out my stats real quick. Have driven 552 miles total. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching, and I'm out of here. See ya.